Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, I never cease to be amazed by how quickly the weather can change here in Texas. You may recall that we had a big Arctic blast that blew through here about a week ago, and it really changed really fast in like the last 24 hours. 2 days ago, I had 2 inches of ice on the pool, and today it's like in the 70s out, and the ice is completely gone now. I can't believe that. I'm going to show you this because this blows me away. Yeah, all of the snow is gone, and the temperature is almost to the 70s right now. There's a nice warm southerly breeze coming in, and that's what's really changed everything. And check this out. Now, it's not like there haven't been consequences. I'm not sure if the palm trees made it. They don't look really good right now, but I'm hoping that they didn't freeze solid, and maybe while the external branches didn't hold up real well, hopefully maybe some new branches will grow and it will still be okay. But they had a bad week, so we're going to see what happened on that. Time will tell. If they died, that's sad, but we'll put something else in the spot. It'll still be a nice area. Christmas tree seems to have done just fine. It was here the whole time. Still waiting to see what happens with the maple tree. That had a rough summer, and it just wasn't getting enough water, I think. But we'll see. There might be actually some evidence of a little growth on there, so hopefully that isn't completely dead. It looks to me like maybe this branch is dead, and maybe a little of this branch here. But maybe if the base of the tree is still alive, hopefully that will come back. Time will show on that too. Grass looks like pretty horrible right now because that's been under ice for about a week. But like I said, just 2 days ago, this pool had 2 inches of ice on it. And look at it now. It's completely ice-free. And that all just happened like in the last 24 hours, because when I went to work yesterday morning, there was still ice on this. It was obviously melting, but when I came home last night, there was no ice. And check it out now. I mean, I gotta get in there and get all the leaves out of the pool, but and definitely gotta let it warm up a little bit, because not gonna be going swimming anytime soon. But yard seems to have held up all right. Nothing growing in here yet, but there was nothing growing in here in the first place. So I did lose some plants, so I think so I'm gonna have to do some replacement of plants. Texas weather is one thing, but I don't think these plants are really used to that. And I think a lot of the stuff over here, kind of took the brunt of it. You can feel the wind. I mean, it's a real windy day here. But yeah, I think we lost this. 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 But a couple of these things over here seem to be doing all right. I was also looking in the front yard. There were some ferns in the front yard. I think we lost those. I had a nice rosemary bush in the front yard. I think I lost that. I'm going to have to wait and see on that. That might be just something that reacts weird to some of the extreme weather, and maybe it'll bounce back. I don't know. We'll see. But it was kind of hard on the yard, so I'm going to be doing some planting in the next few months, I guess, to probably try and correct that. In fact, this is really all that's left of the snow right now. A little bit of a patch right in the front yard underneath one of the bushes here, probably because it isn't getting blown on by the breeze. It's kind of protected in here. And these are my ferns. Like I said, I don't think they survived. They don't look very happy right now. But whatever. That's kind of a tropical plant, and they maybe don't do that well in freezing temperatures. Who'd have thunk, right? On a positive note, though, the weeds are doing just fine. Yeah, couldn't be lucky enough to have those die off, right? Other than that, though, we seem to have weathered the storm pretty well. The temperature, it was cold for basically a week. We never rose above freezing, not once in that week-long period, and that's kind of what did everything in. It actually only snowed maybe one day, but since it was so cold, the snow stayed around for a long time. And in fact, yesterday when I went to work, there was still a little bit of snow on the ground, but when I got home last night, it was all gone. And actually, when I got out of work last night, I remember walking out the door, and it's like, for the last week or so, when you walk out the door after work, it's like, ooh, it's cold out here. But last night I was thinking to myself, wow, it's actually kind of nice. I was saying to some of my friends at work as I walked out the door, it's like, wow, it's almost t-shirt and short pants weather, because it was. I mean, it was still pretty cold. It was probably in the upper 40s, but considering the previous days, you walk outside and it's in the teens or in the single digits. That's a big difference, and it was noticeable. But we seem to have weathered it pretty well. A lot of people in Texas were not as lucky as I was. A lot of my friends were talking about how they had power outages that lasted for 8, 10, 12, 15 hours throughout this whole thing. They had their water shut off, or they couldn't get clean water and they couldn't use it. There've been orders to boil your water for basically the last week, because apparently the cleaning systems weren't working very well. Never ran into any of that stuff. Never lost water, never lost power the whole time we were here. So I was really lucky. And about the only downside to me has been that the grocery stores have been picked clean. It felt like the first days of the pandemic again, where nothing was available, and you couldn't get stuff. You know how much I like to drink milk, and I haven't had milk for a week. So that's been kind of disappointing, because every time I go into the grocery store, it's gone. I went over to Walmart on the way home from work last night, hoping, maybe they'll have something. But I went to the refrigerated section there, and it was every shelf was bare. Everything was picked clean. There was nothing there. So I decided my best chance to maybe get a little milk, which is really all I want right now, is to get some milk. Because, I love milk. That's just the way I am. I figured, my best option would be to try and hit the store first thing in the morning. So I got online, found out that my local HEB was supposed to be open at 6 a.m. this morning. So I got up at 5:45, jumped into my clothes, hopped in the car, went over to HEB, and they weren't open. So it turns out they postponed their opening time till 7. So I ended up going back home, coming back at 7, and I did find some milk. So I got some milk now. I'm in good shape. I actually got to go over and get some more things, but the priority was milk, and I think what I need now is things that I should be able to find. So, we're weathering this, and Texas is slowly kind of getting back to normal now. Also wanted to give you a little bit of an update on the seedlings. The seedlings continue to do well. These are my jalapeno peppers, and as you can see, they're starting to grow. They're enjoying the sun. They're getting a little sun right now. Tomatoes are doing pretty good. Lost a couple of them, but that's one of the things you kind of got to worry about when you're in these little seed pod things. These things dry out fast, so you got to kind of keep them moist, and so that's something I'm just gonna have to learn. And the truth is, I still got a lot of plants that are healthy, and they're doing all right. And I'm still gonna have more tomatoes than I know what to do with. And the jalapenos, like I said, they're going good. Looks like I'm gonna have 15 or 20 jalapeno plants. That should be more than enough. I don't need that many jalapenos, right? So they're going good. We'll keep you up to date on those, and there you go. And of course, Bite and Nibble have done just fine through this whole thing. They barely even noticed anything was happening, except for the fact that they now have to share their shelf with the plants, and that I've been home a few more days now than usual because of the weather. But they're doing all right and just kind of enjoying life. So I'm at Home Depot right now, and I am amused that the one thing that they seem to have a surplus of is air conditioners. Gee, surprising, huh? And they seem to have a sudden surplus of electric generators. Yeah, that would have been helpful about a week ago. And even more and more and more and more electric generators. Yeah, this is, they ordered a whole bunch of them, and I'm guessing they're expecting that people are going to start buying them like crazy now, because they don't want to get trapped like they did last time. The fact that this was like a 50-year storm or something, probably won't ever use it, but they're going to sell a lot of them, I guarantee it. Alright, so I just got back from Home Depot. I was actually out looking to try and find a little firewood. That's another one of those things that's kind of been scarce over the past week. For some reason, you know, when the power goes out, everybody wants firewood. Surprise, surprise. Wasn't able to find any, but I actually headed over to H-E-B and also got some, you know, replenished some supplies. I needed some paper towels and stuff like that. And just replenished a few things, got some veggies for dinner and stuff like that, and picked up some of those pre-processed fireplace logs, so that'll kind of hold me over for a little while. They actually had those. They sometimes have firewood, but they didn't have any of that. But when I got home, I got a text message from Beth. And Beth, apparently it's nice and warm there and flashes out and about. So she sent me a photo and a little bit of video of her chomping on some lettuce. So I wanted to share that with you. So it was fun to get that picture and that video from Beth, and we talked a little bit, and that was kind of fun. It is really a nice day out today. It's really surprising how quickly it changes. It's about 71 degrees outside right now. The wind has kind of died off a little bit. You remember a little earlier it was really windy. That's kind of died off a little bit. And like I said, when I got the pictures from Beth, I was really surprised it flashes up, because it's usually mid-March before it gets warm enough in California where flash would be up and around, but apparently it's in the mid-70s there today, so it was good to see flashes up and about, and fun to see a little video of her. So anyway, I think that is all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.